Hey, everybody. Welcome back to episode 8 of Prep Talk Live. We have made it with no technical issues. We are on time. We have cameras and audio that work. The prepping gods are smiling down upon us today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. Joining me, as always, is the Urban Prepper. What is up, Tup? How was your week?
My week was very good. Every time I see the countdown video for this for this live stream, I feel like we should have some kind of trigger warning for preppers because you start thinking nuclear, something's happening. I start checking my preps every time it goes, but everything's okay. It's just for the stream. But yeah, things are going good. Keeping busy with a lot of family stuff and trying to exercise a little bit more because I sit in a desk all day. So, but yeah, all in all, it's going really well. So.
That is fantastic. Yeah, every time I turn on the thing, I remember that I was supposed to redo the intro with a lower audio.
Okay.
I don't know if it comes through. Anybody on the stream, if you heard the intro, does the intro come off way louder than our voices when we're talking? Because in our ears, or at least in my ears when I'm playing it, it's way louder, and I'm always
it's bumping. It's bumping for sure.
It's got the energy. It brings the heat. That's the whole idea.
We bring up this hype, and then they see us, and then it's like, oh,
and we lull everyone back to sleep. That's our whole
basis for radio
podcast. Pony Girl is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got Andrew is here. We got lots of people. If you're just joining us, make sure to hit the like button on whichever stream you're watching. If you're watching it on the Got Prep stream, if you're watching it on Cascadia Dispatch, go back and forth. Feel free to like all of the places. The more times you hit the like button and give us the thumbs up, the more YouTube will push this out to more people and let us reach the masses with our happy prepping stories and projects. As the bad boys of prepping continue on. Yeah. So Tup, what were you up to this week? What happened? What were your adventures, your projects? What'd you prep for?
Well, on one end, I'm doing a lot of videos right now, so I'm working on a lot of audio, a lot of B-roll footage, a lot of outlines and narratives. So part of the prepping stuff that I've been doing is just prepping for videos for the masses to watch, and hopefully they like some of the upcoming things. Hey, Pony Girl. But as far as like personal preps, we're having to kind of reevaluate a lot of our pantry preps right now, and I'm trying to figure out the best organization strategy that I could come up with for at least that will work for us for our canned foods. So at the start of COVID, I think a lot of people kind of stocked up on things, and a lot of the food supply or a lot of the stuff that we bought at the beginning of it is, some of it's coming up for expiration. And so, we've made some various donations to food banks and stuff, but I'm just trying to get a better first in, first out labeling system for our pantry preps. And so right now, just kind of reorganizing, because there's oftentimes with your preps, once you have a good baseline of preps, it's a matter of, okay, how do I make this more efficient, or how do I optimize like the load out of it, or how do I optimize like the first in, first out of food supply? So right now we're re-looking into our various pantries that we have. So
yeah, canned goods is always one of those tricky ones where you're always like, there's got to be a better way to do this, and every way seems to not work as well as you would like. There's the can roller plastic things where you can put the cans in and they like roll all the way through into the back. Have you tried that?
Yeah, so my wife has, and we find that we have it going good for a little bit, and then we just stop we stop honoring the rotation. It just gets a little scattered. So but I think some kind of like one of the shelf things that lowers down the cans and you just refill it like that. But I want to have some kind of color coordination towards the cans. I'm looking at stickers for various years or when we need to use them, and so that's what we're trying to do. But
I can't.
It's a little bit of a mess right now, but
I'm shocked that you want to color coordinate your cans.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm sitting down. I hope everyone who's watching on the stream was not driving while watching this or anything like that, because this would be headlines.
Yeah,
Tup is color coordinating his cans. Yeah, I had a similar thing because we end up with just end up with cans and jars and stuff, and you don't want things to go bad, but they get put in the pantry and you lose track of them. So I started writing on the top with Sharpies.
Yep. That's what we do. We do that too. Yeah.
Because a lot of times I can't even find the date, or you're like, you send the kids out to go get something and they don't know what the date is or which one to get first or last. So the Sharpie thing worked really well, and using the black Sharpies on the metal cans is really great, but then using the silver Sharpie on like jars that have like black labels or dark colored labels where the black Sharpie wouldn't show up, that worked out. It's worked out reasonably well. We continually change what we're eating, it seems. So what seemed like a good idea like 6 months ago is now like out of favor. And so we kind of and not just because like we don't like the food, but there's a lot of food restriction things that we deal with in our family. And so somebody's, fine eating sugar one week, and then we find out that no, we need to change and we need to go off of gluten for 6 months or something. And so it always kind of changes like that. But I think whoever comes up with like some sort of a can sorting machine, I think is going to make millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, well, the problem that we're having, because we also use the Sharpie on top of the cans, but that requires us having to read it too. I think I just want to have like a sticker, like a circle sticker on there, like kind of like what we do for when we're doing pressure canning of meats and stuff like that, but just have it more year based or when it has to be used. So I think Pony Girl was recommending something like that. But yeah, so anyway, we're chewing different approaches for it, and of course it has to go through corporate approval with my wife to make sure that she agrees with it. So
everything you say is semifinal.
So it's
a lesson my father told me. Everything I say is semifinal.
And I need to put the cover on the TPS report and everything just to make sure it's formally entered in for that. So
did you ever get your stapler back?
I have. Yeah, where'd my stapler go? I have my stapler, but yeah.
Yeah, the can rollers they seem like they're a great idea, but they're wider, and so then you end up feeling like you're not getting as much space. So yeah, I agree. But the can roller is one of those things I always want to work, and we end up buying like 10 of them to do a closet with, and then after like 2 years we're like, okay, get rid of them, and then we try to buy them again because we think it's a better idea, and it's still not a good idea.
Yeah, we've done the same thing, and it's just hasn't been working out. It works out for a week and then it's done. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's not. So got a message from Be True to Yourself.
Yes.
Please give more notice ahead on the stream so that people can do it. So good point. Oftentimes we try to put the message, the stream alert out when we come up with the topics, and usually we come up with the topics the morning of. So we'll do a little bit better on that. But we will always be here Wednesday nights at 5:30 Pacific time is our scheduled time, unless something happens, and then we'll push it.
Yeah, like I think like next Wednesday we might have to figure out a different something on the time, but yeah, we'll let everyone know through Instagram and through the notifications. But yeah, I think I think we should probably shoot for a 24-hour heads up, or at least the morning of, so everyone can count down.
You know what we'll do? Hold on. I think this is a good opportunity for us to work with our audience here. I think we will get it out 24 hours in advance if you all agree to share it with everyone when we do it. I feel like if we get it out there, then you guys can share it and do that. Does that seem like a fair, within the chat, does that seem like a fair agreement that we could have, that we could get a little help in the because I think YouTube will let our subscribers know. But especially with live streams, it doesn't push it out to new people as much. So it doesn't necessarily bring in new audience, but it's great for our current audience, which is ideally what we would like. So
I see that it's Pony Girl's birthday. I see in the chat room.
That's Pony awesome. Girl has all kinds of things going on.
Happy wife,
happy life.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. But at the very top, I see that it's Pony Girl's. It's a birthday. It's a birthday stream. So I don't know if we're
birthday stream.
Not, but yeah.
Okay, wait a minute, Pony Girl. You're gonna have to clarify.
Yeah.
Is it your birthday this week, or will it be your birthday next week? Because depending, then we would need to know like if there are hats that we need to acquire or things like that for the stream. Mackenzie Drake, thank you very much. Reasonable agreement. All right, that's the deal. We will get the stream topic out 24 hours in advance, and everybody can share it, and we'll come up with a hashtag or something so we can see everybody that's sharing it and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, happy birthday though, Pony Girl. That's awesome. So
yes, now it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Pony Girl. We should like have a sing along in chat or something like that. Yeah, but thanks for sharing your birthday with us. We appreciate that. We hope it's a wonderful wonderful week.
Well, what did you do this week? I was organizing pantries.
Cliff, I'm so glad you asked. Thank you for asking. I'd be happy to tell you. God, I enjoy Elise Meyer so much. She's just fantastic. So this week we actually went away for the weekend. The first time that we were in a position where we could take the kids to their grandparents' house. They could be there for the weekend. We went to a place in Skamania, Washington, just across the river that we really enjoy. And it was we kind of do it every few months as kind of a planning exercise of just life goals, for us as a family. What do we want to do for a budget, and what do we want to do for all that stuff? But it's also a really good opportunity for us or for me specifically, to do like car preps, vehicle preps, making sure that we've got the right stuff in the emergency bags, and which emergency bags do we have.
Yep.
I've built out a bunch of kind of like modules for trips. So we have like a power pack that has a pouch, and it's got a USB splitter in it. It's got a power recharger in it. It's got all the cables you would need. I have one that's for like Wi-Fi and internet, that's got Ethernet cables, and it's got a wireless router and stuff. So kind of a good opportunity for me to make sure that all of those are refilled and restocked and all of that sort of stuff. So it was super, super fun. We had a great relaxing weekend. I actually got some TikTok things put together and pushed out over the weekend. I made a little Prep Talk Live template for
Cool.
our things to go out.
I saw that you have a cool format now where leveraging, instead of having the landscape, you're having more of a portrait, which looks cool. So
exactly, I spent I don't know how many hours putting that together and pushed it out, and it got a grand total of 10 views because TikTok shadow banned it and didn't like it.
Is that we're talking about the pouch shaming, and that was
exactly
that got flagged. Yeah,
it got flagged for, I don't know, bullying or something. I don't know. It didn't even
yeah.
get a content violation. It just got no views. I was like, what is, like, I've put out pictures of deer and random things and it gets 100 or 200 or 300 views. So yeah, it didn't like that one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try some different things, but that was kind of that was the weekend. That's what we did.
I thought that was a funny segment on the last.
I think it was fantastic.
It's a topic I've never thought about in all the years of prepping on that. So, but it's good to know that TikTok doesn't appreciate it, though.
Yeah, I think I think I'm gonna try it a little different, maybe without the banner, maybe, or something.
Okay.
Good morning from Japan, Titus
Wow.
back in the house. Every week, fantastic. Andrew, create a post on Facebook and Instagram that we can share it. Absolutely, we will make that happen for you. I'll get to work on something shareable like that. We'll have that ready for next week. Also, for anybody who didn't know, the podcast version, which is basically the audio version of this, is now available on all of your podcast platforms. We got pushed out to Apple Podcasts last week. So if you want to go and subscribe to the podcast there, if you can't listen to it online or on YouTube, you have the opportunity to listen to it on Apple Podcasts. It's on Amazon. It's on Audible, which is Amazon. It's on Google Podcasts. So go ahead and check it out. Let us know what you think. Leave a 5-star review, please. If you do that would be really fantastic. All week channels are talking doom and gloom, but not this channel. You know what? I just want to screenshot this.
This is great, Pony Girl. That's a great comment, because I think that's the mission statement of this particular live stream, because so much of prepping is there's a lot of doom and gloom topics, and you can get down and out on thinking stuff. But when you come over here, we're going to talk about pouch shaming and all sorts of weird stuff too. Milk chickens.
Legos.
You name it. It's going to be the lighter side of prepping. So that's love the comment.
Yes, that is. I think when Tup and I were talking about doing this was like the first thing. I was like, "Hey, what about this?" And he was like, "That's fantastic. That is exactly what I want to do." That's kind of our ethos in a lot of ways, is the smiley, happy approach to prepping, as opposed to doom and gloom and watch out for asteroids.
And I know that by doing this, some people they don't like that kind of thing. Hey, you guys are smiling too much, and you guys are whatever. But yeah, that's okay. It comes with the territory.
Yeah, exactly. That's a choice. That's a conscious choice we're making.
With great power comes great
Great
responsibility too.
responsibility and fewer views, but that's okay. We'll make it
Yeah.
up in happiness
But
and
yeah,
other things.
and I see that Connie had a good comment there. Yeah, I'm always concerned that, but if I like, I don't do it personally, but I'm worried about scaring people off from prepping. Like the whole goal for me is to get people. I want to bring them into the club, and then if they want to go scary route, they can go scary route. But at least get them in talking EDC, and it's prepping is it's so much fun, and it's all the different people that you can meet that's like-minded, that's online. Like, who would have thought like 10 years ago that you and I would be talking? We didn't know each other, we weren't even into prepping. And I think this outlet and this community is so cool that now we have all these Pony Girl and Connie and Titus and people in Japan. Like, you're able to talk prepping, and which I find, like, in my everyday life, people don't want to talk prepping for the most part, or talk about what zippers they like on their bags, or what body weight they want on their pouches. But over here, there's thousands, if not millions, of people all around the world that we could talk about this. So again, I don't want to scare too many people off. I want more of those people so we could have these fun conversations about topics that can be scary, but sometimes you got to just smile in the face of scariness. So.
Yeah, and I think if there's lots of people that hear prepping and they assume it's one thing, and I think if we can convince them through our smiling and our fun and WWE and all of the Macho Man and all that sort of stuff, that there's more to it than just camouflage and bunkers. I think that then makes it so that everyone's a little more open to it, and the more open they are, the more prepared they'll be, and in an emergency, then likely, there won't be as much strain on the system for everybody.
Yeah,
so
totally.
If everyone just assumes that it's doom and gloom and we're not going to be involved, and they don't prepare and there is an emergency, then we're all in a worse spot. But if everybody can just kind of at least start putting their toes in the water, and I think the last couple of years have helped to provide some opportunity for that. But if we can do it in a way that continues to make it just part of life, as opposed to just this kind of moment in time, that will, I think, make a big difference.
Yeah, I think I know myself personally, I don't know about you, but I think I find that I've been trying to overcompensate for, like, I think Doomsday Preppers kind of set back the whole idea of prepping years, because it's made us all look like a bunch of crazy people, basically, with bunkers and camo. Not that I don't like camo and bunker and all those cool things, because I have some. I'm just hiding it right now.
Yeah, exactly. You're actually broadcasting from your bunko.
I have knee pads within arm's reach, so it's a.
I looked at your knee pads last weekend. While we were gone, that was one of the things. I was like, I got to go look at TUP's knee pads and see where to get them and find them on Amazon.
Yeah.
I did find a couple of others that looked interesting too. So I have questions for you about knee pads later.
Yeah. That's gonna get flagged on TikTok too.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting flagged on YouTube.
Yeah,
we're being deplatformed. It's a whole thing. Oh, Pony Girl's wearing camo PJs. I'm not surprised.
Now, the Men's Warehouse has a camo button-up shirt, which I wasn't going to get because I thought it was weird, but now as I think about it, I think I love it. So I'm going to get it. I might dress up on the next live stream with the camo button-up. So we'll see.
I think we need that, and maybe like a suit jacket.
Yeah,
like a camo, like a black suit jacket with the camo.
See, I have a suit jacket. I also have a suit jacket nearby, but it's not camo. But I try to have so much stuff within arm's reach. Whether it be a large flashlight, like a through night one, or a headlight.
I have a question. Is that the jacket? Is that the uniform you wear on the other podcast?
Yeah, so
stream. This is the fancy. When you're doing doom and gloom, you get formal.
When I go doom and gloom, I go formal. I wear a tie. I have a tie here ready to go for it. So
that's fantastic. That's just great.
I feel like a Carrot Top or someone with all these props near on here.
You never know when you're going to need to make a variety of types of streams.
I want to be the Carrot Top of prepping. That's my goal, I guess.
The Carrot Top of prepping. That is absolutely. A, I think the way I'm going to introduce you from now on, and B, I think it's a shirt. I think it's a shirt with zip ties.
I still got some cool stuff, like some EMP stuff. I could go full prepper if I need to. But
have you tried the EMP thing? Because I
haven't set off an EMP locally.
All over.
Yeah, I haven't set up an EMP locally, but I have it installed on our vehicles, and so far, fingers crossed, there's no EMPs that are happening. But it's
You have a test set of 0, but so far so good.
yeah, so far so
Uh,
good. Yeah, so yeah.
yeah, it's one of those things you kind of see in the prepper world with the algorithms and things, as things kind of come up and then everybody, like, they are everywhere, but you never always know, okay, is this really a thing or is this just a thing that I'm seeing on videos?
Yeah,
And I don't think you
a lot
ever
of
made a
people.
video about it.
Yeah, no, I have. I've been treading lightly on it because I know a lot of
Mhm,
people say, "Oh, that's like snake oil or whatever." But
mhm.
I don't. I had a talk with those folks, and I don't, they talked. They answered all the questions that I had. But it's kind of the same way with me with like hardcore preppers. We have like our potassium iodine pills for fallout radiation, and I haven't tried those personally myself either, but I have them, and I'm hoping that if it were ever to come, at least I would have it ready to go. And the
You're
same goes
crossing
with
your fingers that they taste
crossing
as
my
good as you
fingers.
think they will?
Yeah, I still, but maybe I have to do like a 72-hour potassium iodine challenge or something,
Yeah.
but with doctor approval. I don't know.
The 72-hour, we've come a long way from the 72-hour bar challenges
Yeah,
to the radiation pills. I
yeah,
feel like we're really grasping for viewers
yeah. We're
at
starting to
this
grasp now. Yeah, but
point. Snakes are oily. I think they could be.
yeah,
They could be.
I agree.
Yeah. So let's talk preps for me. Let's talk
Oh,
gear and gadgets
is it
and
show
show
and
and
tell
tell.
time?
It's show and tell time.
Okay, are you
Get
gonna go
out
first
get
then? Or?
out your favorite stuff. You know what? I am. And I went back
Okay,
and forth on this one.
okay,
Because I had a thing I told you I was gonna show off earlier today.
yeah,
And then I changed my mind because I have a video on TikTok right now that's doing really well on another thing. And so I figured I would talk about that because that seems to be popular.
yeah.
So the thing that I'm gonna bring are these ready tape, duct tape packages. So a lot of people, you've got the big roll of duct tape. A lot of people say, okay, you take a duct tape and you roll it around like a piece of cardboard or something. It always ends up being sticky and it smells like duct tape and it's just not like a great thing, and it's just a messy. And look, we might be in an apocalypse, but let's be civilized. All right, let's be reasonable.
Like, smells like duct tape. Like
It, it
it's
smells like duct tape.
it just reminds me of like a cologne like commercial or a soap or something.
Oh, to duct tape.
60% of the time it works every time. Sorry, I
We have
derailed
the
it.
best look. We have 20 something people watching right now. We have the
Yeah,
best podcast ever.
yeah.
The best ever. So what I like about these, and you can get them on Amazon, is they're really compact. They have the same amount of tape as a reasonable roll of duct tape. They've got like 5 yards or whatever. So they got plenty of tape, 15 feet or something, on one of these. But you can get them in different colors. So you can get, I got the gray, your traditional, if you will, silver duct tape. They have a black duct tape, which I did not get because you can't really write on it. So you might need it every once in a while, but I felt like this was kind of more standard. But they have these fluorescent colored ones. They have orange and yellow and green, which are great for also for duct tape, but also for signaling. So if you needed to make directions, if you needed to write emergency warning or something like that, you get the additional benefit of the color in these. And they usually come in, like, you can get them individually or you can get them in like boxes of 6 or something. So I got the silver ones, and then I also got some of the multicolor. Highly recommend them. They actually come in kind of sealed in these little plastic pouches, so you can put them in a bag, you can put them in a purse, you can put them in a car or something, and you don't have to worry about the tape, kind of sticking to things or residue or anything. They're very compact, very wonderful.
I think it's good.
I mean, I feel like it was a win. It
Yeah,
was a win. Yeah. See, you fix everything with duct tape.
yeah.
Everything with duct tape. Um,
What do you think is like the how?
I just keep finding comments. I'm like, oh, that looks good. I don't even look at the name, and they're Pony Girl again.
Oh,
So
good, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Here's someone who's not Pony Girl, Kaylin. Yeah, the smell of duct tape. It's not that you mind the smell of duct tape. It's just, why would you want the smell of duct tape? If you have the option to not have the smell of duct tape, Who goes around like does anyone go around and be like, I would love to smell duct tape?
In all my prepping years, I've never thought about the smell of duct tape, and now I'm gonna think about it every time I buy more duct tape. So
I'm so glad I could teach you something. Like over the years,
I
I've
think
learned
that's
so
funny.
much from you that if you could take one thing away from me, I feel like I've won. That's
Yeah,
the thing right there.
that's hilarious.
All right,
Uh,
what'd you bring? What'd you
So,
got?
well, I covered this in my most recent video on the nightstand EDC, which I finally finished. I know we were talking about it on this stream for a while.
Hmm.
And I think I've done a video on it, but I thought it'd be fun just to do a dedicated one for this. Is I've been buying more and more of these power outage outlets that you basically plug it into your outlet, and if the power were to go off, you basically have an alarm that goes. It's it's not really that loud right now, but basically, I've been putting these in multiple places now within the home. Originally I bought these for our aquariums because when the aquariums go out, we have to kind of gather our gather the troops and get everything set so we don't kill the fish basically when there's a power outage. But I've been putting these almost in every single room now. So when the power goes out, I mean, it's going to be alarms all over the place. So
It's like a flashbang in your. It's like
yes,
strobe lights
exactly.
all throughout the house.
But I'm at least doing it on every outlet where a refrigerator is plugged in. Like
Mhm.
we have a freezer in the garage, we have our primary refrigerator, and then we have a backup one downstairs. And if I'm always worried that if those were to go out and I didn't know about it, then we're gonna ruin all the food that's in there. So I think these are pretty cool. They're about $17 each. These are the best ones that I've tested so far. There's some other brands. This one is by Reliance, is what it's from.
Yeah.
There's a little light on there as well, which helps. Like if you have it in the hallway, that it'll kind of provide some illumination during the hallway. So, but yeah, that's my show and tell item is the power out uh, outlet alarm for power outages. I think it's a pretty handy, and to have it at least on the anything that you have plugged in that during a power outage that you'd probably want to get to, like your refrigerator or if you have a freezer downstairs or an aquarium or something like that. So that's
Yeah.
the show and tell item for today.
That is fantastic. You know what? Based on this, I'm gonna bring in next week the
Yep.
thing that I put on my refrigerator. Um, because I had the Reliance thing. So we have those because
Yep.
I watched your video,
Oh
as I
well.
do, and then I bought a bunch of them
Yeah.
and I put them throughout. And we have one refrigerator that's outside, and so it worked really well for everything that was inside the house. But the refrigerator that's in the garage, um, we didn't hear it go off, and it wasn't a power outage. It was attached to a GFI, and the GFI popped, so it was
Yeah,
circuit specific.
yeah, I'm worried about that kind of stuff happening. So
Yeah. So I found one that actually for that specific situation will send you an email and a text alert.
oh, nice.
So as long as you have, if your whole house doesn't go out of power, but that one circuit goes out, then you'll get the alert if you can't hear it. But yeah, but I have the Reliance ones throughout as well for in case there is just a
Yeah,
natural power
I
outage.
wanna know more about this outdoor refrigerator, though. Is this like a community refrigerator that you provide for the neighbors as they walk
Yeah,
by, or what?
we leave it in the driveway, and
Okay, yeah, that's what I
it's
was imagining when you said it. It's
yeah, exactly. It's the so for us it's the refrigerator that we keep in our garage basically. The chest we have a chest freezer and then we have a refrigerator freezer out in the garage.
yeah. Okay.
And it's attached to the outlet that's out there is a GFI. And for so if it gets a power strain or if it senses water or for whatever reason it freaks out and it pops, then the whole circuit will go out, but the rest of the house will have power.
Yeah,
So we won't know that it's a blackout out
exactly, yeah.
there. And so we've had a couple of times where the GFI would pop, and because of just how we live in the house, we couldn't hear the Reliance alarm in the garage
Yep.
through the house. And so we thought everything was fine. And we go out there and, we got ice cream that's all melted and everything else. So I got this other thing that I'll bring next week.
I wanna see
That
that. Yeah, that's
sends
awesome.
it sends a email and a text message that says that the power is out for whatever that circuit is. So as long as everything else is working, you're fine. If the whole house goes out, then like you're in a whole different problem.
That'd be
But
pretty cool. Well, one of the things that we're always worried about is like when we go on vacation, for example, we're
yeah,
worried about power outages happening while we're out of where we're gone. It'd be kind of cool if they had some kind of something like that, where if the whole power goes on in your home, that you get an alert and a text message, and an email like that. I don't know if there's a product like that, but now I need to research it though.
Yeah, I think the and that was the thing for us too, is we have wonderful neighbors, and so if we were on vacation or we're away for the weekend or whatever, and especially because that circuit is temperamental, if that circuit were to pop, we wouldn't know about it till we got back.
Yep.
So to have the email notification is great. The company also um came up with a temperature and a water sensing, like a flood alarm that you can get too. So if you have a
Yeah, I
water
have.
leak,
Yeah, we have one of those downstairs because that's something I'm worried about as too. I mean, I know in the prepping world, that's not the cool
we're
stuff
very
to
worried
prep
about a
for.
lot of things.
I'm worried about all sorts of yeah. So, but flooding, like, because when we moved into this home, we redid the floors downstairs, and now I'm all paranoid that if some kind of flood happens downstairs and I don't know about it, then it's won't have time to like try to stop it. So yeah, so we have one of those downstairs as well.
Yeah, yeah. We had a flood in our house from the water like they were changing our water heater, and they turned off the water at the water heater, and they had come the day before and said, "Hey, be careful because the pipe is brittle and everything else." And the people came out to fix it, and they turned it off at the water heater, but they didn't turn it off at the street for the house.
Yeah.
And so they went to make the final adjustment and snapped the water line behind the stop, and it flooded all the way into we have a daylight ranch style house, and so the water heater is actually on what would be the second floor, so it flooded into our living room and dining room and then down into our crawl space, and it was so we spent that we call that the Breaking Bad holiday season, because
Yeah.
it was all plastic sheeting and with ripped up floors and heaters and fans and all kinds of stuff. Having a flood in your house is not a fun thing. I do not recommend it.
Yeah. No.
1 out of 10 do not recommend. Um, so to prep or not to prep, let's talk about spring, which is, I know, a weird thing because we're still in January, but we were talking about garden season, and
Yep.
that you're kind of, obviously we're not planting anything right now. There are people who are planting things. We're probably in the Northwest not planting things, but this is a good time to start thinking about what you would want to plant
Yep.
and how you would want to plant and what you want your gardens to look like. And I know you've been doing tomatoes and you've been doing some other stuff. So have you given some thought yet to spring planting and gardening and all of that?
Yeah, we're starting to game plan a little bit for that. Getting our because we do a lot of container gardening, which it, it's it, I like it because you're able to transport it if need be. Like if you needed to like get on the move, you could always take your prized potato pot with you if you wanted to. But yeah, I'm all the old we like over the winter. I kind of let everything kind of go a little bit. So I was just kind of planning out. Okay, I got to clear out these particular pots. These are for these potatoes. This year I'm going to try this style of potato, and for some reason I keep having potatoes that look so dinky, like marble sized potatoes. But uh, hopefully this year we'll get a little better. But yeah, the tomatoes. I'm going to talk to the kids every year. We find which vegetables and produce that they like the most, and they really like the snap peas. So I think
Mhm.
we're going to do a lot of snap peas this year because the kids they love just going outside and grabbing a couple snap peas and eating them, and it's like, and they taste so good. So and now and also we love the tomatoes because sorry, uh, they have so much flavor. It makes me question like all the tomatoes I've had over the years. Like what am I eating at
All
the
the
grocery
fake
stores?
tomatoes.
Yeah, because the ones that I
Yep.
grow, like we grow on our deck, are so flavorful. They taste so good, and it's kind of ruins you in a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna go with a similar setup that we did last year. We're hoping that this year we have a few different blueberries that we are told it takes about 3 years to actually see some stuff through
Mhm.
them. So we're hoping this is the year that it actually happens. So, but yeah,
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, the gardening has been one of those. You talk about bug out bags as the prepper gateway drug.
yeah,
Um, Gardening has been one of those things for our kids, around getting them into it and allowing them to pick things. So I kind of divide up the beds and figure out, which beds we're going to do which, and a lot of it is kind of experimental. I think I'm going to try putting we're going to try doing delicata squash over here because it didn't do as well last year. We're going to try it at a different spot. And I tend to try to put like a couple of plants in different spots throughout the yard to just kind of see like with different types of sun and shade and stuff. I should at this point, with the number of homestead channels and things I watch,
Yeah.
I could be really good at this, but I'm still like, well, I will put it over there because I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been the thing. I think last year most of our seeds actually got eaten by rodents. I thought I had them in a secure spot, and I went to go pull them out, and they had all been just shredded. So we've been trying to replenish seeds when they're on sale and things. But we do the tomatoes are great. The snap peas are great. They're kind of one of those things that they'll grow whether you want them to or not, which is kind of nice. You just kind of, as long as you get the seeds in the ground, they'll kind of do their thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with like green beans and stuff. So those are good ones for the kids. We often try to do things like different colored stuff that they like. So like purple peas and purple beans and crazy colored carrots and that sort of stuff that's just different to get them into it. So we've started that plan. A couple years ago I did sweet potatoes, and when you're doing sweet potatoes you have to start the slips about January time. So I've gone back and forth on whether to try that again. Our potato harvest and our sweet potato harvest have always been quite small. So I want them, it's like my lemon tree. I want my lemon tree to make a lemon, and it never ever does. And I want the potatoes to be potatoes, and they never ever are.
Yeah.
But we keep trying. So
The one
I
that
think, yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say the one that we're when we do like zucchini or cucumber or squash or something, and it's always so overwhelming because there's the humongous things. I don't know when they like they grow so fast, and like we're like, oh, what do we do with it? It's like it's too much. It's too much because if you grow
It's
too
too
many
many
of it,
slices.
it's too many slices. That's what I feel like when it comes to zucchini or the squash or the cucumbers. That's
Yeah,
exactly yeah.
the zucchini can get out of control.
It's crazy.
Um,
Yeah.
we
Like, how much zucchini can you really eat? Well, I don't know. I guess
that's why you have neighbors to
yeah,
just
if it's
give
the
them.
apocalypse, yeah, and then
Yeah,
we have this big stack of zucchinis in the kitchen, and we're like, what do we have, a zucchini party or something? What are we gonna do with those?
I between the knee pads and the zucchini party top, this is the greatest stream ever. Uh, yeah, I think we end up with a ton of zucchini. We actually live between our neighbors are also gardeners. One of whom is like an amazing gardener, has turned, like, I thought I was turning our yard into a bit of a food forest. Like, we switched out a bunch of plants for blueberry bushes, so we have
Yep.
probably 10 or 15 blueberry bushes now that are mature. I've put asparagus all over so that that'll just continue to grow. We have strawberries, we have blackberry, we have all different kinds of things. But our neighbor who moved in last year, like, completely dug up their yard, and they're doing hugelkulture and a food for it, like everything there is
Like the
edible.
permaculture
They,
stuff that
yeah, it is
yeah.
incredible. So here I was, like, thinking I was like the gardener on the block because I was doing like some garlic and things, and then the guy moves in next door and they've got just trellises and all kind. I'm like, okay, can we just tell me what you got going on over there? Because that's what we're gonna try to do over
Yeah,
here.
our neighborhood is we have a lot of people have their gardens, and certain people focus on like we have this one neighbor. He's really good at growing onions. Like he has a ton of onions. You have another one that's
Mhm.
the tomato OG of the block, and there's this one older lady. She's like 95, and she just has like so many blueberries. It's crazy, and she goes around the neighborhood and gives the neighbors blueberries. And so then, yeah, then
I think Tup, what you need, you're the zucchini guy.
yeah, I'm gonna be the
And you
zucchini
just
guy.
need to go walk around and offer your zucchinis to
Yeah.
people and see how that goes.
Yeah, for one year we bought like right before COVID, we bought like I forget how many yards of compost we bought, but the whole driveway was filled with compost. It reeked. But and then like COVID happened, everything shut down, and all the neighbors needed compost for their gardens, and so we were like doing all this bartering and trading for, hey, you take a barrel for, I'll take some of those onions off your plate for you. So it was pretty fun. It was good practice for the neighborhood. So
Yeah, the that's one of the things that we found that's fantastic with the chickens is the composting element, and having that. So getting it ready for getting it ready for the spring. And so we kind of I top dress everything in the spring, and then we do it again in the fall. But like we had too much, and luckily now our neighbor will take as much of it as we can give them.
Yep.
So that's fantastic. So now we're getting a little more use out of that. Our worms are still hanging on. Have you guys ever tried a worm bin with your kids?
No, I haven't. Although we probably should because I think they probably like it. We
Um,
here you want to. Oh, I'll let you continue because I have a deep urban prepper secret that I'll share
oh,
with
all
people
right,
too.
all right. So yeah, so I found a way to make them with like Tupperware containers and things, um, and they're fantastic. The worm castings and everything that you get in there is great. And we put it outside, so it even though it didn't smell in our house or in our garage, um, it's just nice to have it outside and you just don't even worry about it. But I would highly recommend it to anyone. It's a nice little self-contained. The worms don't make noise. The worms don't, need you to walk them or anything. They just sit in their little tub and they make things to go on your vegetables. So it's fantastic. Um, so yeah, okay. So what's your urban prepper secret?
Okay, this is kind of a touchy subject in the home right now, but I'm going to say
Oh,
it
all
anyway.
right.
So it's
You have a
so,
secret worm bin.
so last year it's not worms, but it's critters like that. So last year during our gardening, my daughter was liking to help my wife with things, and she found a snail. The snails that you don't want in your garden because they mess everything up. So
Yep.
she decided she wanted to keep it as a pet, and so then she named it after. She gave it a name and everything, put it in a Tupperware, and then she found another snail and put it in the same thing. And then they were feeding these snails. Then my wife got really into it, and now she's like, we have she's been breeding snails in our dining room, and so we have all these like glass tanks filled with like baby. We have like the baby snails and the medium sized snails and then these like the OG snails that have been doing that. And it's like, what are we gonna do with all these snails? We don't want to.
I
It's
imagine this is like Outbreak, where like
it is.
accidentally the thing is going to tip over, and all of the snails will escape your house and ruin your garden and all of your neighbors' gardens.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, what are we gonna? We can't just keep growing these snails. They're multiplying like what's that Star Trek episode with the
Have you looked into escargot?
yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Are we doing it? We're not doing escargot, so what are we doing this
Yeah.
for? But so I don't know what it's the dilemma of 2022. So I'll give you an update as far as what happens with all these. We have like probably 700 snails right now. So
Well, if you got chickens, you could feed the snails to the chickens.
yeah,
There you go. I mean,
our
that
neighbors have chickens, so maybe that we could have some kind of
you
trade.
could
So
barter
yeah.
snails for eggs or something.
Yeah, I got some
Snails for
fresh grown
compost.
snails. I'll trade some fresh grown snails for some
Art,
tomatoes.
artisanal snails.
Yeah,
They're hand reared
yeah,
in our thing. So questions. I saw one that I thought
yep.
was interesting here. So I wanted to pull it on up here. Where did it go? It was from Connie.
Connie, I saw that one. Yeah,
Yeah. How would you go about planting when you're in an apartment?
I know a lot of people start off with the using the 5 gallon buckets on their if you happen to have a porch in the apartment and doing potatoes and starting with that. And then what we did when we were in an apartment is we did like a small herb garden. So because we couldn't do a whole so you can't do a whole bunch when you're in an apartment, but in your window, for example, you could grow whatever herbs that you like, cilantro or basil or whatever, and do that in addition to having if you could do some 5 gallon buckets if you have a porch area. I find that most people do that. So, but I think Connie, you're going to want to go the container gardening route. I think for the apartment.
Yep. I think it's very similar. And there are lots of different things. Like we did an herb garden and we had the ones that sit on the railing.
Yep.
So they were up off because even though we have some space, like you want to take advantage of all the space you can. So we got the on railing planters, which are great for herbs because they're a shallow root base. And so you can put whatever you want in there. The buckets are good. Anything vertical. We did a gutter garden for a little while,
Oh,
which
cool.
was ended up being it didn't work because I'm not good with lettuce. Lettuce is a thing I want to grow so badly, and I do such a poor job of it in general. But we moved it around and tried different places and just couldn't find a spot for it. Um, but literally we took a gutter and strapped it to two by fours,
Yeah.
and then we actually put it against our fence. But you fill it with compost or dirt or whatever, and then it's almost like a ladder. And so we did strawberries, we did lettuce, we did spinach, you could do all kinds of herbs. But because you can go vertical and you got things that have a shallow root base or things you're going to harvest really quickly, it works out really, really well.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's a thing. Anything you could go vertical with, so peas, beans, tomatoes, especially like cherry tomatoes, or
Yep.
you're not like a bush, the indeterminate tomatoes where they just grow straight up. Those are fantastic because you can kind of get them to vine over. So yeah, I would say any of that. Maybe even talk to your neighbors. If you have a balcony and you share it with neighbors, you have a kind of a vining opportunity there with things like, I don't know that you want to go grapes or anything, but if you were doing, some sort of a squash or something that was a vine.
Don't do zucchini. Don't do zucchini though.
Yeah, don't do zucchini. That's no one wants your zucchini in their balcony. That's not a thing. But doing like a delicata squash or something that's not super heavy but is a vining thing, then they could have whatever gets to their balcony, and you could just turn the whole building into a squash factory.
Yeah,
So,
I think that like in the urban environment, there's a lot. Oftentimes, cities have various community planting areas where you could actually do some growing of stuff there, and I see a lot of people doing that. So,
that's a
but that's
fantastic idea.
but that's not your own. I mean, it's not at your house, but technically, if you have a little, you might be able to adopt a bed and take care of that over there. So,
Yeah, and a lot of them will even let you do it in multiple places.
yep.
So, there are a few of them around because we have schools and things, and they'll do it.
I've always
And so
wanted to
you
try
could get
the. Sorry.
oh yeah, so you could get a bed, at the park, and then you could get a bed at the other, at the other garden. There's also people, there were a couple of YouTubers that I saw. Curtis Stone has done a few videos about it, where people borrow other people's yards. So, maybe you've got somebody who's elderly who doesn't want to plant and doesn't want to do all of the maintenance and everything, but has a yard. And so, hey, can I borrow your yard? And I'm going to plant these things, and I'll give you half for letting me use the yard, and I'll keep half from myself for the work or something like that. That's another option.
What I was one of the things I've always wanted to try. Maybe I'll have to do. Maybe 2022 is the year to do it. But what is it's called? What is it called? Guerrilla gardening, where basically you take like you have like hand grenades of seeds and soil, and you just chuck them into different places that it's not really your place, like at a park or something, or out, and you hope that it's something that doesn't require deep putting the seeds in deep, and people do that where it's called guerrilla gardening, and I've always wanted. I've been so
Prep
fascinated.
Talk Live does not
We
endorse
condone that,
or condone the views of the urban prepper. We do not.
But it's basically like a hand grenade of seeds that you. Hey, that area looks good. Let me put some potatoes there, and then boop, and then see what happens. It's kind of what it is, but again, I don't condone that. But
Exactly. No, we would never say that.
But I may try it with like maybe my family's like houses, like, hey brother, and chuck that in there, and then check on it like 6 months later, see if anything happens. So.
Well, I think it's also interesting. Like a lot of times, so our house backs up to a wetlands, and we can see that there may be people around us who have planted beyond their fence, who may have, maybe they don't have a fence, and so they have some containers or things that are a little outstretched of where the boundaries are. But there's also blackberry bushes and there's fruit and all different kinds of plants, because the birds will go back there and they'll carry the seeds from somebody's house and drop it back there. So I think that sort of thing is just, it's nature.
Yep,
it's nature. If that happens, it happens. Don't get this is not farming advice.
Are we not condoning guerrilla gardening?
Exactly.
I'm gonna make a PDF. Here's how you throw it, and here's
yeah, exactly. Make sure you have this much dirt in your hand with this type of seed. Yes. Color coded. The dirt has to be color coded to go with whatever the thing is.
And I think that they put like ghost peppers or something in it, so then like the squirrels don't want to eat the seeds or something. So they do something like that too. Anyway,
it's a defensive and offensive guerrilla garden.
It is, yeah. And I've never done it, but I've always thought it sounds interesting. So
all I thought you were doing was taking like zucchini seeds and just throwing it willy-nilly around. I had no idea that you were putting pepper spray in with
Yeah,
in with your
that's what you do.
keys.
Well, that's
That's
kind of what they do for
fantastic.
like when they like replant, like when there's like a they want to replant trees because of like deforestation and stuff. They have like drones that drop these uh the seeds, like the trees basically, and they're so high up that it digs into the ground. And then they put like ghost peppers in it because they want to plant the tree, and they could plant millions of them that way, but they put it with ghost peppers too, so animals don't eat it before it has a chance to grow. So I
Yeah.
thought that's pretty cool too. So maybe I'll
Uh,
do it. Maybe I'll do a drone video for guerrilla guerrilla gardening where we're dropping those
I
plants.
feel like that should be like, yeah.
With-
Yeah, Jonathan, fantastic and insightful comment. I
Yes,
appreciate that. I
brilliant.
feel like
That's brilliant.
that's fantastic. We try really hard. Pony Girl again, you know,
Yeah, working with
really
nature.
hard just working with nature.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that. It's just science. It's just science. So all right, I think we are getting close to time, and
yeah.
if not, we're past.
I think we should end it on a high note with Jonathan's comments. So
Yeah, I feel like Jonathan wins.
yeah,
Jonathan, look, Pony Girl, it may
comment
be
of the
your
day.
birthday, and you
Yeah,
may have been commenting this entire time, but I feel like Jonathan wins. I
yeah.
mean, that's just fantastic.
Well,
Uh,
she had the good comment about the doom and gloom one early on. So and it's her
and it,
birthday. So I think by technicality, I think that Pony Girl is
all
the
right,
commenter of the stream for today. I think.
all right, that's fair, and I won't even get on her on the fact that she started on the Cascadia Dispatch stream, and then she switched over to the Urban Prepper
Oh,
stream, and
okay.
now has all of her good comments on your stream.
Yeah,
So
I just see
yeah.
all of them like all aggregated together. So
So anyway, thank you everyone for joining us for another episode of Prep Talk Live. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to all of the channels. We will be posting 24 hours in advance our topics for next week. And if you don't, just write it down. Wednesday nights, we'll have a different time because TUP is very busy. He's a very important person, and we need to change the schedule. So we will do that. So keep an eye out for whatever the new time is for next week, but we will post it well in advance so everyone can make it. And when we do, please go ahead and share it with people. Have a watch party maybe. I think we're entertaining. I
yeah,
work out.
that's a good idea. So like
We should have some PTL watch parties.
yeah, like the Book of Boba Fett type there. Actually, I heard that sucks, but like other watch parties. Yeah,
Yeah, I've not been impressed by that, but that's a whole nother. Maybe
yeah, we
we'll
can
have that on the
next
next
stream. Next stream.
episode.
Let's
Yeah, next stream we'll talk about what a dumpster fire the
I
book
don't
of
want to
Boba
talk
Fett
about
is.
Dexter. Dexter is a touchy subject right now too. So, but anyway,
Dexter or Duxter? Or is this
Dexter,
like a
Dexter
different
New
show that's
Blood,
like, is this
Dexter New Blood was
a
yeah.
TikTok where it's like a duck who is like a serial killer? Is that a thing? I don't know. Anyway. All right. Thank you everybody for watching. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful rest of your time. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.